Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? Hope you had a great Halloween yesterday. Something that's pretty spooky along with Halloween is the disrespect that we see some people throw towards the Pokemon cards and the Pokemon hobby, despite how they actually make money off of it, right? And I'm talking about people that do like live streams and stuff like that, people that just make videos. If they're talking bad about Pokemon and they make money off of it, this is kind of talking about those people. Um, and this isn't people voicing their opinions. This is different. But you'll see what I mean once I get into it. Again, thank you for taking even a second of your day to be here and to hear me talk about Pokemon. And if at the end of this video or something like that you have something to say in the comments, say it. I would love to hear from you guys. So, alright, let's get into it. What really is the problem? So, in my eyes, again, this isn't about opinions. Everyone can have their own opinions, but this is not what I'm referring to. I'm talking about people that make the choice to stay ignorant about future generations of Pokemon, or the current ones, rather. And then they think that just because they knew about the past generations, then they're just disqualified to talk about the new ones as if they know everything, especially if they didn't even play the games that the current generation Pokemon are in. And in my head, that doesn't make sense. And then they do things like giving the Pokemon incorrect nicknames and stuff like that. They do it in a smug manner, which is just pretty cringe in my opinion. It's cringe. Like, buddy, you don't even know anything about the Pokemon. Why are you acting as an expert and then giving it some? Alright, we'll go on to the next point before you guys taste the salt that I'm throwing down. So, this honestly repeats from generation to generation, and as me, someone that just likes Pokemon, not just one generation, it's annoying. And I think it's a distinguishing factor, honestly, between fans of Pokemon overall and people that are fans of nostalgia that they had during their childhood. Like I said, we're all entitled to our own opinions, but continuously hearing stupid diamond hat, stupid crowns is honestly nothing short of annoying to me. Because you could ask these people saying these things, oh, did you play Scarlet and Violet? The answer is going to be no. And if they did play, oh, okay. Oh, Ogre Pounced them. Did you play the DLC? Again, as you ask them more questions about the games or the Pokemon that they like to speak on so much, they really don't have anything to back it up with. So, yeah, they're going to be coming back to you with a resounding no, or if they did, it's just, yeah, it's going to be through their chat if they were streaming and playing the game, basically beating the game for them, not them playing the game. And then, again, where is them having the experience with the game? That's their chat, basically doing all the hard lifting for them. They don't get to relate to the Pokemon at all or anything like that. So yeah, now I'm gonna kind of go about my hot take. So my hot take is that I think Gen 1ers through Gen 3ers who haven't bothered to follow up on what's going on now in the hobby are literally just leeching off the continued success of the Pokemon Company while spewing their ignorance. That's my hot take. The crazy thing is I grew up with Gens 1 through 3, right? But the thing is, I decided to try to keep up with the current gens. And I played Scarlet and Violet. I played the heck out of it. I played the DLC. To this day, I still shiny on the new game. I do battles online. I familiarize myself with the Pokemon. So, yeah, that's my hot take. I guess take it or leave it. Agree or disagree. But do you know how many times I've seen individuals talk about how Pokemon was dying? I especially remember seeing this about 2 years ago, and then probably like 3 years beyond that and whatnot. This is a cycle that seems to repeat with these people in the Pokemon hobby. They just get stuck on their gen, they insult the new gen, Then they talk about, oh, Pokemon's dying, how, oh, they're running out of ideas, blah, blah, blah. And it's kind of silly. They sit high and mighty on their chair despite them never contributing anything if they really thought the game was dying or the hobby was dying, if they care about it so much. Never taking the initiative to contact the Pokemon Company about what ideas they might want to see implemented. And they talk about the new ones not having originality, like we didn't just have like we didn't just have people that were formerly artists in other franchises helping design Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And I find that pretty funny. But, that's the ignorance right there. And their ignorance is strong and they love it. They love running with it. But that's up to them. So you might think then, okay, well, you're talking about them not contributing. Have you done anything? Yeah, I have actually. Years ago, I wrote out a detailed plan to the Pokemon Company, kind of like outlining how much I like Delta species, what I like so much about it, what I think would be really cool to the hobby if they were to bring it back, as well as talking about how I think this would impact fans and just the card game in general. And I even ran it by one of my friends that was collecting cards at the time. He's currently not. He's in the military and he's currently busy all the time. But yeah, we kind of bounced the idea off each other, wrote it, and I sent it in. And it was submitted. It was not approved. It was submitted. It was, they read it and whatnot. And even though I didn't get like a formal response from them, years later we got Terrapagos and the Terrestrialized Pokemon. And I'm not saying that me by myself or me and my friend, oh, we have so much power, we did it. No. I'm just saying we went out of our way to try to talk to the company about something we would like to see. And I don't know, I think this is something that we should just do in general. If we want to see something again in the company or something like that, I think it's okay to submit a help form on the site and then just talk about it. So why not, right? We care about this hobby. We want to see new things in it. There's nothing wrong with that. Sorry, kind of went on a little ramble there. Kind of, talking about that moment in time. But yeah, it's really cool seeing the Terra Pokemon after that. And yeah, I just think these people that talk like that are just harmful, because these are usually the people with the loud voices, in the Pokemon card community. And I think probably the most harmful aspect of it is how they shape the opinions of people who are new or revisiting Pokemon. What I mean by this, as people, we know we're social creatures. So imagine you're revisiting a hobby for the first time and you hear the majority of the voices, especially the loudest ones, saying, oh, the new Pokemon are whack, they're running out of ideas, Gen 1 is the best, 151 is the only good Sun, Scarlet and Violet. What do you think someone's going to think about the Pokemon card hobby hearing something like that? Do you think they're going to have positive views of it? Or do you think they might lean towards the side of, oh man, yeah, the good days are only behind us, and there's nothing really left for me in this hobby, why do I even bother, why should I even try to collect cards anymore? That's pretty sad. And this kind of goes back to the point that I was making of these people, they more or less just piggyback off the success of the Pokemon Company, because they'll release these videos or whatever, or they'll just be doing these actions on lives, on breaks or whatever. And these people are literally making money from the views or from selling cards. It's crazy. It's just crazy to me. It's never sat right with me. Every time I see them do these actions, it definitely rubs me the wrong way. So those are my thoughts regarding that. But yeah, I hope Everyone's Halloween was great. Here I have some gameplay of me playing some TCG Pocket. Honestly, I was getting washed in these games. In my first game, I think I started with a Zapdos EX, and I was really trying to just get something going, right? I didn't have any other basics, so that's what I had to start with. I mean, thankfully there's no mulligans in this game, but oh my gosh, it was rough. I was fighting for my life. Second game right now, got a Farfetch, so it's not looking so bad. But oh man, that first game I was really fighting for my life. But kudos to both of my opponents. They were doing great. Um, yeah, but it just really bothers me how how people do this. How they just essentially poop on the hobby that they make money out of. It's basically like like biting the hand that feeds you in a sense. I'm not with it. Never will be. So yeah, that's about that, to be honest. And then we could even talk about how they talk about the artwork and whatnot, right? I'm not hating on base set at all. Again, I grew up with base set cards. I owned them when I was young, when I was little, and I love the art. It's a classic art. But the artwork we have been getting from even Scarlet and Violet base has been insane. Sword and Shield base, I personally didn't like the art that much. On the common cards, I liked art. I mean, okay, let me specify what I'm talking about here. I'm more talking about the cards that are very hard to pull, right? The art on those, comparatively, with Sword and Shield base to Scarlet and Violet base. In Scarlet and Violet base, we have just these beautiful cards. We have Gardevoir, we have Miraidon, we have my favorite, Iron Treads, the one where he's in the desert. Oh my gosh, I love that card. And then Sword and Shield, we had our rainbows, right? And rainbows were the chase. And granted, yes, we have our blocks of different chases in the TCG. But oh my goodness. And when Scarlet and Violet came out, what were these people saying? First off, they were making fun of the Pokemon and the names. Oh, they're running out of ideas. Oh my gosh, Pokemon are so dumb. They were talking bad about the trainers. Oh my gosh, these trainers are so bad. Blah, 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 blah. If you played the game, I mean, the trainers are actually pretty cool. And then Iono became expensive, and then all of a sudden everybody loved Iono. That's what I mean. The flip-flopping is crazy with these people. Then all of a sudden everyone's a fan of Iono. Oh my goodness. Watch, if Skeleton, let's say Ceruledge gets a really cool illustration for EX, right? Let's say it gets a really cool one, and let's say somehow that card just becomes expensive. You're going to see people coming out of nowhere. They're going to just start talking about, oh, I love this card. I love Ceruledge. Oh my gosh, Scarlet and Violet's so great. And you guys can even see this. If you want, you could go and, look at a good amount of, like, people that talk about, just people that like open sets or whatever. Watch from the beginning of the Scarlet and Violet era how they were talking about it to now. It's very interesting. Because now you'll see how they're more positive about it. They're like, oh yeah, like, it's been great. In the beginning, what did they say? They said, oh yeah, no one likes Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet, it's so bad. But yeah, let me get off this rant a bit, because I don't want to just rant up you guys' ears for a while. But I'm really curious, like, for those that played Scarlet and Violet, and those that also used to collect, like, Delta species back in the day, like, how do you guys, or what do you think about the similarities between the two? For me, I think it's just really cool. Like, I love how we get the terrestrialization, and it's in the game, right? Because when we had our Delta species, like, It was just the cards, and we only had it for a few sets. Now with the Terras, I mean, man, we've been having them since bait. Well, have we had it in bait? Yes, but I mean, do we have the different types? I know we had Arcanine and we had Gyarados. But granted, they were still Terraslas, but you know what I mean, like the different types, as opposed to what they usually are. So I'm curious, like, what you guys' thoughts are on that. I would love to hear that for people that have like collected those species in the past. Also down below, yeah, you can comment like, you know, your favorite gen as well, and maybe like the backlash or what you saw that's pretty interesting, such as like people talking bad about your generation, your favorite gen, and then all of a sudden how they flip flop later down the line. Because, you know, in this hobby, as time moves on, things go out of print and then they get more expensive and XYZ. You know the story. I'm not going to sit here and repeat it. I know you guys have to hear it already, repeated a million times in all those like investment channel videos and everything. And that's not what I'm doing here. So yeah. Let's see. I would love to definitely battle with some of the viewers on maybe even TCG Pocket, TCG Online. I would love to do that and yeah, just have fun. I want to meet my viewers. I think that would be really cool. Granted, I don't have many. My channel just started, but as time goes on, that would be great. So I'm gonna kind of finish with one of my cards that I like here, Ogerpon. Love the DLC with Ogerpon. Love that little guy.